122. All right, guys, here back at Group 3, Session 1. Group 3, Session 1, New Jersey Motorsport Park. Everyone in Group 2 and Group 1 went a little faster, so it does look like the drivers are getting more comfortable. The track's coming into itself, and it's actually very nice out today. It's not as muggy as it was yesterday. Cars have a little bit more power. Tires have a little bit more grip. But it does look like we have Nishant Patel being followed by Josh Rubenstein, Donald Liu, and then Marcus Congdon. Those are the first 4 cars out. So if you have just started joining us, guys, here at GTA New Jersey Motorsport Park Lightning Track, this is the first session of the third group of the day. We've already ran Group 1 and Group 2. I'll get you caught up on those a little bit later. So we're here at Group 3, Session 1. First running lap out, it's going to be Nishant Patel at a 119.939. 121.939. Marcus Congdon got ahead of him there. Ooh, had a driver a little hard off there in 1. It was the Mazda Miata of Marcus Congdon. He was finishing his hot lap, came in really hot into 1. That is the hardest part here about time trials racing, time attack racing at New Jersey Motorsports Park. You want to finish your lap as hot as possible, but that also means you're coming into turn 1 super fast. So you got to get the car squared away and turned in. The corner kind of falls away from you there, as you can see right here. The corner kind of falls away from you, so it's really easy to overcook it and not make that turn. Nishant with a 118.158. If I'm not mistaken, he actually went faster this year in his 350 than he did in his 370 last year. That's William Shelter in his Ford Mustang running a 133.05. We had Nishant at a 118.061, just at another flyer. Here we have the time so far this session. We have the time set up for you from fastest to slowest, so it's easiest to figure out. We have Mr. Donald Liu leading this session in a 117.456. Marcus Congdon at a 117.925 in his Mazda Miata. He's also the one that went off hard on 1, so you could tell he was pushing that lap. Nishan Patel, Enthusiast Class 350Z at an 18.0, almost breaking into the 17s. And then Travis Villanueva at an 18.645. Terrence Rodriguez at an 18.6. Adam Satzman at a 19.2. Joshua Rubenstein at a 20.0. Got Mr. Chris Vera at a 21.2. Kirsten Richardson at a 22.3. Larry Annunziato at a 23.6. Mark Tindoy at a 26.8. Christy Carlson or Chris Jervis at a 127.4. Gerald Ford at a 28.9. Kevin McKendry at a 29.1. And William Shelter at a 33.05. Looks like Christy just set a faster at a 26. And Donald just reset his fastest at a 17.4. These guys are out here still pushing it. The track is going well. We have a little bit of dirt and debris out for one from the off, but it looks like it's not slowing these guys down too much. So for those of you that know, this is our second day here at Global Time Attack New Jersey Motorsport Park. Day one was a pretty smooth day. We did lose a couple competitors in day one. The car leading enthusiast, rear wheel drive enthusiast class in general, the Ford Mustang GT350, that beautiful pink machine, they had a catastrophic failure, so we won't see them back out. The person leading the overall event had a small issue with his driveline, but I don't think we're going to be seeing him back out. And sadly, in that first session today, it looks like we lost the IAG Performance Subaru STI of Sally McNulty, so we will not see that car back out. Majority of our competitors, though, are still pushing hard. It looks like they're out there wrenching on their cars. I see the USR Civic Type R had a small issue in the session one. Maybe they got that squared away. I hope to see them back out, but for the most part, we have almost every single competitor still out here. Day one did not have many casualties at all, so we'll be out here pushing day two. That Subaru right there, I can almost guarantee you he popped the charge pipe off. He's been doing it all day. Sorry, all weekend. Nothing against him. It just seems like whatever piping is on that car, whatever clamps, whatever bead rolls, all that stuff is not coming together. Hopefully they can get that squared away where he can run a full session with no issue. This right here is a very popular chassis. We've been seeing more and more, all the way from enthusiast class to unlimited class. The FRS BRZ chassis has found itself to be very nimble, very quick, and the only lack it has out of the factory is no power, but I mean, that's something that can be easily solved in the aftermarket. So we're seeing more and more FRSs and BRZs coming out and competing. Donald Liu with a 316. He just came out of the hot pit, so this is him starting his flyer. His fastest lap of the weekend so far, of this session so far, is a 117.4. Integra right there that you saw, Mr. Gerald Ford, that is a chassis that will never die, my friends. That is classic front-wheel drive time attack, Acura Integra. William Shelter with a 127, followed by Mark Tindoy at a 24. Then Kevin McKendry right there at a 26.3. This is the final group for the first session of the day. Session 1, we like to give them a good 20 minutes out there. That way they have as much time as possible to set a hot lap, set a flyer. Here's the time so far of this session. It looks like Travis Villanueva is leading strong with the 1:15.5. Even his last lap after 4 laps is only 1/10 above Marcus Congdon's best. Truth be told, though, Marcus did his best on his 7th lap. That's a 16.8. He was in the 16s on his first flyer when he went off on 1. Donald Liu with a 1:17.4 in that FRS. In case you're tuning in and wondering what the whole purpose of this is, we get these questions a lot. People ask us, what's the difference between time attack and time trials, or what's the difference between time trials and just qualifying for a race? Well, time attack, you could look at it like qualifying for a race. You're just trying to set that one fast lap. It doesn't matter if the first lap is 30 seconds off the pace, but if the second one's a record setter, that's all that matters. But the biggest difference is this is the eternal fight to get that one perfect lap. Unlike qualifying for a race where the car has to do qualifying and compete in a race and finish, these guys get to set up their car as extreme as physically possible to try and set that time. Last year here we had quite a few records broken, and that's what these guys are all chasing. They're literally trying to chase glory in the time books. Also, we do love this track because it brings quite a few people out from the East Coast that we don't get to see all the time. Time attackers and guys that run these events are diehards. We have people that travel across the states with us nonstop. We have people that can only make events local to them, so it's good to make it here from the west to the east and back. I really love about coming out here, these East Coast Honda guys, they're about it. This is something we don't see very much on the West Coast anymore. Everyone gets more extreme and trying to go crazy. You come to the East Coast and these guys go fast in cars that don't look that crazy from the outside. They let their driver skill and their builds do the talking. It may not be the fastest flat-out car out there, but they're definitely showing what you can do with some good ingenuity, a small budget, and having all your friends out here on track with you. We got a couple brothers, but it seems these guys are all friends. I got two brothers, both running Honda Civics, one EG, one EK. But then we also have an Integra. We have a four-door EM. We have everything out here right now. All right, and as he's crossed the start finish, you're going to see the checker flag being thrown right here. Boom. All right, guys, so this is the ending right here of Group 3, Session 1. Group 3, Session 1. They've had the checker thrown at them, that being Nishan Patel coming in the pits. We got Group 1, Session 2. Group 1, Session 2 getting ready to go out. Group 1, Session 2, they're lining up here in the coal pits getting ready to go out. Here we have the cold pits, guys. That first BMW right there with the Element tuning car behind it, that's what the car's getting ready to go out for Group 1, Session 2. You'll see them lining up pretty quick. We're going to have our camera guy go down there and try and get a camera in Mr. Brian Tyson's car. Where camera guy's running out right now to get a camera in Mr. Brian Tyson's red Camaro ZL1. He's been pushing all weekend to go faster than he did in his other car, so it looks like he's really getting it done. The whole Tyson family is setting personal bests, so I'd like to see them all drop another second off their times.
Jeff, just a quick FYI, there's a very sexy man in a blue robe standing on a scissor lift.
All right, guys, here we are, Group 1, Session 2, Group 1, Session 2. That BMW M3 E46 being driven by Eric Magnuson will be our onboard footage. We have Eric Magnuson in the E46 M3 with our onboard footage. It's going to be followed up by Phil Grabo. Then what looks like we have Chris Boersma right behind Phil. Chris has been picking up time every session. He was having a few little issues yesterday, but it looks like they got that all squared away. Chris basically debuted this car at Road Atlanta earlier this year. It was a whole new setup. The car may not look that different to you per se, but everything about it is different. So that STI right there yesterday was Dan Kroll. He actually sheared a carbon drive shaft in half, but he had a nice crew member go meet someone halfway to pick up a new one, so they got that all taken away. We got Mr. Steve Green in that white Z06 being followed by Shylin Wu Whoosh Racing Ford Mustang GT. Here you got everyone getting set up for their laps, getting them warm, because the only place that matters is coming into the bowl and exiting with as much speed as possible. That's Chris Boersma right there starting his hot lap. Here's Eric Magnuson coming through turn 7. Just touching one tire off right there, trying to carry as much speed as he possibly can. They like hugging turn 8 there pretty tight so they can set up nice and wide for 9. You want to carry as much speed as you can through the bowl because that's really what's going to dictate your top speed down the front straight. All right, and here we have it, guys. A 109.382 from Eric Magnuson, followed by a 106.283 from Phil Grabo. He ran a 107 last session, so he's definitely picking it up. It looks like we have Chris coming in the pit, so we're not going to see a lap out of him. But Joel Morrison with a 109.7. Jim Chen with a 110.1 in his C7 Z06. Tyler Papas with a 107. Brian Tyson with a 110.3. See what Dan can do with his 109 from Dan Kroll. 109.757 is IAG Performance Subaru STI. Here's your times for everybody so far. Phil came out and just pulled us a little over a second out of his fastest from last session, so this is definitely his best time. You'll notice like Joel Morrison's only done 1 lap, but it's not green because we have a record of him going faster than that. So 109 is the fastest of this session, but it's not his fastest. Phil lost a little over a second on that lap. Eric Magnuson, on the other hand, did a 109.1. He picked up a few tenths off his last lap. Steve Green, this is, he did that all those vinyls on his own. He really likes the car being flashy. I dig it. There's nothing better than making sure you can actually see the race car on track. It looks like Brian Tyson's getting ready to come in because he's offline. He's letting everyone get by him. He's making sure he's not hindering anyone's laps. Steve's trying to take a second off right here. Steve with a 114.9. Looks like he's done a little slower there. I'm not sure if he got held up or if he was just trying to set up for another hot lap. Color choices. He's got yellow end plates, purple gaff tape. I mean, this is a man after my own heart right here. Shaolin Wu right behind him. Looks like he has run a 110.9, not quite on his fastest. Dan Kroll, though, off camera just ran his fastest lap of this event so far, a 108.834. Steve with a 110.791. That's his fastest of today. Shailin a 110.9 is his fastest, but he ran a 112 on that lap. Eric Magnuson with a 108.486. We got Brian Tyson at a 3:41.4. He was just in the hot pits resetting some things and going out for the flyer. Here's Here's your time so far, guys, for this session. Leading by a large margin is Mr. Phil Grabo. He ran a 107 something in his last session, and his first lap here was 106.2, so he's really laying it down. It looks like everyone in session one is finding some pace. Dan Kroll and his IAG Subaru STI laid down a 108.1. Looks like we lost Mr. Shailin Wu. He's caught there on the backside of the track. He's come to a stop. We might have people coming in right now just because there's a stopped car on track. He is somewhere completely safe though, so we are continuing this session. We're not going to black flag this right now. Looks like we had Steve Green right there and Mr. We have a car stop there on turn 3 or turn 4, but he's somewhere completely safe, so we're going to continue this session. We're not going to cut it for that. These guys are going to go out, try to set a few more flyers before this session ends, seeing if they can drop their time some more. All right, so here's Steve Green, guys, going for another flyer. He definitely wants to get out of the 110s. I think he can definitely get into the 109s. He's been working on a few little chassis changes, some tire pressures. He's been playing with his aero, taking the splitter off, putting it on, messing with wing angles. He seems to have found a good balance, so hopefully he can put a lap together, get in the 109s. Jim Chen in his C7 Z06 at a 110.791. All right, guys, it looks like we're probably going to be cutting this session a little short. We have another car off, but not in a safe location, so they're definitely going to black flag this session. All right, guys, so we are going to be cutting this session a little short because by the time we get the car off, the session will be over. We will be back at 11:55 Eastern Standard Time for GTA Group 2 Session 2. Again, we will be back at 11:55 Eastern Standard Time for Group 2 Session 2. So we'll keep these times up for you for a little bit so you know what's going on, and then I'll catch you guys again at 11:55.
What? Nah, I couldn't see that far. I don't know if it. I don't think it was like. I don't think it was a wreck. I don't think it was a wreck at all. 'Cause I saw that one car. I could see the one in the distance by itself. It didn't look like the other one was anywhere near it. We'll find out. Yeah, right? Still got the car on here. Say it would. Yeah.
All right, guys, here we are, GTA Group 2, Session 2 at New Jersey Motorsport Park. We have Group 2 going out. We have a driver that just showed up. That is going to be Max Sleska in the Audi TT. You're going to see a little in-car from him, so we'll see what's going on there. He just made it to the event. I'm not sure if he had some issues. He missed day 1, but he definitely wasn't going to miss day 2. He has some experience at this track, so we do expect him to lay down some good flyers. We'll see what kind of times he's running as soon as he gets a hot lap in, but that's who you're going to be riding with on board here. We'll be cutting in between shots, but every time you get in a car, you see a view, you know it's going to be Max in his Audi TT. We got Max here on his out lap. He's about to crest turn 8 to go into the bowl. All right, so slingshotting around the bowl to set up for the front straight. Let's watch Max start his hot lap and see what kind of time he lays down. Oh, it looks like he may have an issue. Never mind. It looks like he's coming in. Yeah, it looks like we have a small problem. Max may have an issue, not be able to lay down a lap. So we'll see if he comes back out. If he does, we'll get you back on board. But let's go ahead and pay attention to what's going on track. First one out right here. I believe Sean Mahadeo's leading the field, followed by John Lewis and his brother Stephen Mahadeo. Corin Tyson, then James Mell, Nick Stenenberg, Raul Mora, Craig, I cannot pronounce your last name, and Scott Merker. All right, guys, so let's see what kind of lap times we see here. Sean first, 1:17.8, and then Craig with a 1:17.3, but James 16.7 right behind him in the red S2000. Corin Tyson with a 16.8 on her first lap. She's going to dip into the 15s or she's banned from these events. Raul Mora with a 1:17.275. And then Scott Merker an 18.5 in his NC Mazda Miata. Kiwi Chung starting his first lap. Louis Milan in his Mazda Miata. So it looks like they're trying to figure out what's going on with Max. They got the hood up. The car was running well before they pulled out. Ooh, we do have a BMW E30 off in the grass. All right, guys, and here we have James Mell, who's run a 1:15 14.086, pushing hard through turn 7, about to go into the bull. All right, so James and Craig, they've been going lap after lap with each other. James just laid a 14.2, and Craig laid a 14.4. I'm not sure if chasing him down has made him find some speed, but he was in the 15s before that. Mid-15s at that, so he didn't just take a couple tenths off. Louis Milan just set the fastest time of the session with a 1:14.024. Got Steven Mahadeo to 18.437. We're going to throw these times up here for you, so take a look, guys. Leading was Louis Milan at a 14.0, but James Mel and Craig, that is the red, beautiful Honda S2000 being followed by the Subaru or Toyota FRS BRZ. Craig was at a 15.5, if I'm not mistaken, with James at a lower 15. James laid a 14.2, and directly after it, Craig laid a 14.4. So I'm not sure if hunting down James made him have that little bit more speed, but they both are within a couple tenths of each other and pushing hard. Hopefully we keep seeing this battle going on. Nick Steniford with a 15.8. Corin still at a 16.8. She only did one lap and came back in. I'm not sure if she wanted to change some pressures, but I know she's back out on track right now. Amy Dilks with a 16.8, laying down some fast lap times. Rolo Mora 17.2. We got Sean Mahadeo to 17.3, and then John Lewis at a 17.5. Craig just laid down a faster lap, a 14.388. James Mel did let him by. It looks like he's on a cool down lap now. Nick Steniford with a 15.8 on his last flyer. So here's Max, guys. I've seen them trying to work through this issue. They've been in and out of the car. They've been in and out of the support vehicle. I'm not sure if maybe he's having a boost issue or what's going on, but it seemed right when he tried to start that hot lap, something may have let go or something may have popped off that just took away the power. So he's back in right now. Hopefully we get him back on track. They made the journey out here to compete, so be sad to see them not be able to lay down some laps. Corin starting her hot lap. She just laid down a pit lap, so hopefully she can break into the 15s. We got Nick right here who's always pushing the limit of his car, pushing all the way out through turn 7. All right, so here's Corin. Let's see if she can break out of her 116 slump. 116.2, just 2 tenths off of a 15. She is close. Hopefully she can lay down another hot lap, get it down that 115. All right, guys, we missed it on screen, but Craig just ran a 1:13.988. He surpassed James' fastest time by about 3 tenths, so that's killing it. Craig was in the 115s this session. He got behind James Mel and then laid it down to the 14s. He's in the 13s. It looks like Amy Dilk still has a small smoking issue right there. It doesn't seem to be anything serious. You know, there's no fire, and honestly, it seems to be under loaded corners when she's making a left. So she may have an overflow issue, a catch can that's draining, or maybe a small oil leak on the headers. We won't know until she comes back in, but looks like they're pushing through it, no issues. Yeah, so definitely she's coming in while we follow this Miata right here. All right, Nick Steniford with a 1:15.731, just about a tenth off his fastest. Sean Mahadeo right there with a 1:14.614 in his Honda Civic. Got Scott Merker coming back into the coal pits. Looks like he got his laps in. He did 6 laps, did a best of 1:18.268. Nick Steniford, on the other hand, as you're going to see pass right now, just did a 1:15.457. Ooh, Sean with a 1:14 though. That's Louis Milan in his Mazda Miata. His fastest lap so far is a 13.721, so he's definitely pushing that car. We're coming here to the lull of this session. It's we have about 7 minutes left, if I'm not mistaken. 7 minutes left in this session. Quite a few cars have come in, changed some things. Looks like Corin just came in to get reset, so we'll see some laps from her. But here's what we got going on so far. Louis Blond in his, I believe, NA Mazda Miata, fastest lap so far at a 1:13.7. Craig behind him at a 1:13.9. James at a 14. Sean Mahadeo at a 14. We got Nick Steniford with a 15.2 just set seconds ago. Got Corin Tyson at a 15.9. Corin Tyson in the 15s at a 15.9. She's out here doing a great job. That's going to be Steve Mahadeo right there that just went by.
Said hold. That's what I'm doing.
Here we go. This is Corin getting ready to start her hot lap. Her whole goal of the weekend was getting to the 16s, but she did that too easily, so she got into the 15s, high 15, 15.9. Came in, spoke with Brian really quick, and now she's out there again, so hopefully we can see her get into the mid to low 15s. This is going to be the start of her hot lap. Her time to beat is a 15.938. A 1:15.938. There's Brian listening in right there on his phone. There's Kiwi. Their fastest lap at this time is a 1:17.5. Been pushing hard. Had a couple offs. Went off on 7 yesterday. Went off on 1 yesterday. But has really found a rhythm today. Has just been running some really smooth laps. Nick Steniford. He's run a 1:15.2. This whole session was around 1:15.8, and then just lap after lap, he was taking tenths off, so he must have found some secret sauce. All right, guys, as the times came up, Corn had just passed start finish at a 15.7. Here we have Nick Steniford. Let's see if he can lay another faster one. That one is about 5/10 slower than his fastest, 15.579. We still have Louis Milan and his Mazda Miata leading this session, 13.721. Craig at a 13.9. Sean Mahadeo at a 14.1. John Lewis just set his fastest time in 8th right now at a 1:16.384. That was the gentleman that had that quick off on the left to turn 7 in the grass. He managed to keep it off the wall, so that's always going to be a win-win. Here we got the pits right here, guys. So as you can see that roped off area, that's where the car show is being built up right now. And then we should be seeing some drivers get ready to grid up for Group 3, Session 2. It's going to be the final time attack session before lunch. Be Group 3, Session 2. And soon we have up Group 3, Session 2. As you can see, these cars are being released into the hot pits. This will be Group 3, Session 2 coming up. So this is the final times of the session, guys. Final times of the session. It was led by Louis Milan, basically from the beginning to the end, with a 1:13.988. The checker has been thrown for these guys, so what we will have is Group 3, Session 2. Group 3, Session 2 coming out. Here we have drivers getting ready to go out for Group 3, Session 2. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes before the session goes hot. 2 minutes before Group 3, Session 2 goes hot. All right, guys, and here we have Group 3, Session 2 going live. Group 3, Session 2 going live. This session is live. It's getting hot up here in the tower, but we're going to go ahead and give you non-stop action. I don't think we have an in-car here for Group 3, but we'll make sure we have one ready for you for Group 1, Session 3 after lunch. Got Nishan Patel getting ready to set up for a hot lap. Nishan has been laying down some good laps. I know he's gone faster in his 350 this year than he did in his 370. Got a little bit of that seat time, a little bit more driving experience. He's really been paying off. All right, guys, so we're having a little bit of issues with Race Monitor right now, so I can't get you exact times. But that doesn't mean that these times are not being recorded, guys. All times are recorded on a different system, so no one here is losing any laps. We're just losing our ability to live watch it right now. As soon as we get that back up for you, I'll let you know so you can double check your app. All right, guys, we got the timing and scoring issue fixed on Race Monitor, so if you guys did want to see the times that were up on there, they're now live again. This is what we got so far. We got, I'm not sure who waiting for data is right now. It'll probably reset the next time it goes by, but you have Nishant Patel at 18.1, run in actually just a little bit faster than the car ahead. Here we go, guys, so you can now see who's fastest up top. We have Terrence Rodriguez at a 1:17.241, and then Nishant Patel second at an 18.1. Donald Liu at a 18.5. Josh Rubenstein at a 19.0. Got Christy Carlson and Chris Jervis at a 19.8. And then Larry Amanuziato at a 1:27.72. Chris Vera at a 21. This session's been running for about 9 minutes now, so these times are catching up with themselves. had a hard off on 7 right there. Had Craig right behind him, so that was super close. All right, guys, and here we have the live times from this Group 3, Session 2. Travis Villanueva leading with a 14.0. That's a lap time that could put him in Group 2 if it was just a little quicker. So he's definitely out here leading everyone in Group 3. Nishan Patel with a 17.2. Terrence Rodriguez with a 17.24. Josh Rubenstein at 18.2. Then another 18.2. These guys are running close to each other. Donald Liu with 18.5. Chris Jervis and Christy Carlson with an 18.6. Looks like Chris Vera ran their fastest lap here. So there we have Robert, guys. That's a story there from GTA. He actually drove all the way here from Mexico. He came, he saw, he didn't make day one. He had to get a couple things taken care of, but now he is here on day 2 running. We're not sure what took him off track right now, but we're glad to see him here. All right, guys, so this is Group 3, Session 2, getting a checkered flag. Group 3, Session 2, getting a checkered flag. Cars are coming in. All right, guys, so that's the end of Group 3, Session 2. It's going to be a pretty big break here. We'll be back live on stream around 2:15. 2:10 to 2:15. We'll have our next run group at 2:30, but we'll be back on stream at 2:10, 2:15. So make sure not to miss us.